Broadcasting live from Studio A of station WDWL TV. It's me, the grumpy old man. And my studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And as always, we are a production of Grumpy Vulture Productions. Take your bow. All right, look at the camera. Yeah, both eyes. Okay. Stream's over. Yeah, go up to Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. Collect your $10,000 check. Friends, it's day 2 of the Refund Saga. Yes, day 2. And Sylvia has decided again to ignore Grumpy's voicemails and emails. As a matter of fact, the whole TV team is ignoring my emails. Even though I went right down the list. Kamar, Talal, Mir, Fawal, Fawad, Hassan, Clyde. I like that one, Clyde. I sent them all emails. I would figure at least maybe Clyde would get back to me because I don't think Clyde gets many emails, but nobody. And they are open 7 days a week. Yes, the TV team is open 7 days a week. So I get to irritate the fuck out of them again tomorrow. Because I guarantee, since they had to shell out wholesale for that piece of shit Hisense TV, they ain't gonna want to pay the balance of what they owe me on my extended warranty. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Commercial break. Although there won't be a commercial, I have to go over to Studio B. I forgot something. Stand by. I'll be right back. Probably would help if I took these off. Don't mess with the microphone. No sneaking over the microphone. All right. Into Studio B. Into Studio B. Okay, into Studio A. Thank God the studios are back to back. Okay, Grumpy's back. Can't do a broadcast without my Louis Ducats. Yeah. My Louis Ducat genetic cigarettes. And even generics aren't that cheap anymore. Although, God, I looked at the price of main brand cigarettes yesterday. And I'll tell you what, it's scary. For the price of one pack, I used to be able to buy a carton. Matter of fact, when I first started smoking, I could buy 2 cartons. $10, $12, $15, $17 for one pack of cigarettes. I'm like, what are they putting in now? Illegal street drugs? Jesus. Matter of fact, you could probably go buy illegal street drug cigarettes a lot cheaper then what the hell? Oh, I'm amazed, utterly amazed and shocked at the price of cigarettes. I know the government wants us to quit smoking, but you know, the tobacco growers need my support. What do you mean the tobacco growers don't need my support? Yes, they do. They're growing a crop. You know, they're farmers, even though they're growing tobacco. Matter of fact, if you drive past the tobacco field, plants look like tomatoes. Nice, bushy, green, you know. But that's beside the point. It doesn't take much to get me off subject. Just saying. Come on, chair. I adjusted the wheels on the chair to keep from sliding into them ruts from that cheap floor pad that they bought me to protect the carpeting. The major problem is now that I put bigger wheels on the chair, it's easier to slide in the ruts from the old chair. I can't win. What are you doing with my lighter? Trying to steal my lighter. I don't know why, when I opened my emails this morning, I actually thought there would be an email from Sylvia or the TV team. Stupid thought. I opened my mailbox. I did a quick scan. No square trade. So I checked the studio telephone. No voicemails from Sylvia. Didn't expect any, but I was kind of hoping. So yesterday I had left her 5. Well, today I left her 15 more. So now there's 20 of them sitting on her phone. And I guarantee, you know, when she comes into work in the morning, she'll go, "Oh, Jesus. I got to get my secretary in here to start deleting voicemails. I don't want to hear that voice." Well, Sylvia, if you're happening to watch, send me my check. Case closed. But no, you're going to drag this one out too. So, the longer you drag it out, the more time you give me to write emails and leave voicemails. Matter of fact, to make Clyde happy, I think for every one that I leave the TV team, I'll write 2 to Clyde. It'll make him feel better because I'm sure he's like sitting in a cubicle way back in the corner of the office, you know. People are throwing spit, you know, paper wads at him and then, "Hey, Clyde, catch," you know. So I'll make his day. He'll come in the morning and go, "Holy shit, look at this. I've got 10 emails." And then he'll look closer and go, "Oh, shit, they're all from that goddamn grumpy old man. Oh." And then he'll call Kamar and say, "Hey, can I be logistics again?" What do you mean, no? "We're not shipping a check." "Oh, okay. Yeah, promotion gone already. I got promoted to logistics." Oh. And I got demoted back to the TV team. Although, it could get interesting to see if maybe there's a new name like a new hire, to say, hey, the first part of your job is to answer these emails. And the trainee will sit down and go, but they're all from the same person. That's all right. Just page over 2 pages on your computer to the PDFs, and you'll see a generic letter. Just put your name on it and send it. We made that generic letter especially for the grumpy old man. We don't use that for anybody else. Matter of fact, just on the other screen, put the PDF over there and leave it open. And then like every 20 minutes, just send him one. Make him feel good. No, it won't. I already have a stack of your generic responses. I counted them again today. 46 emails. 46. Over a TV set. Thank God I didn't buy an extended warranty on a brand new Lincoln. Oh man. There'd be like 460. Yeah, 46 emails in the span of, what was it, 8-9 days? Of course, they don't communicate via telephone. Oh, no. We only communicate via email. Well, Grumpy communicates via email and voicemail because Sylvia was dumb enough to give me her direct number to her office out in California. Although, I'm really confused. Supposedly, all their offices are out in California. But it's not a California area code. I think maybe she is using one of them apps to invent phone numbers. Although she did call me from that number once. I'm going to have to double check. Maybe it's the number for her cell phone. Although I wouldn't think she would want voicemail stacking up on her cell phone unless it's a company phone, and she can ignore it. Yeah. Oh, it's an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I don't carry that one anymore. I've got the 16 Pro Max with a different number. The money she's probably making, she paid cash. iPhone 16 Pro Max. Yeah. I need a Pro Max lighter. Not to get off the subject, but I will anyway. I actually went on YouTube and I watched the WWDC conference for 2024. The little bits and snippets that Apple had. Oh man, do they make a Hollywood production out of introducing, we have a new program for the MacBook Air. Yeah. So you updated the software, but no, I was waiting for, a brass band of dancing girls. Oh, the bullshit. Unbelievable. Go in on YouTube. Apple. I think it's Apple Inc. WWDC 2024. and watch the Hollywood production to introduce the iPhone 16 Pro Max and MacBook Air 22 Pro, whatever the hell that, and the iWatch. Oh yeah, they've been big. Oh, we got a new bezel on the iWatch. Whoop-de-doo. And then I like how everything is only. You can pre-order the latest iWatch for only $9.95. What? For a watch? I could go on eBay and buy one for a couple of bucks. It'll tell time. It's all I need. But no. Oh, these new iWatches. They give you your heart rate, your blood pressure, your shoe size. Unbelievable. Now, yeah, that is valuable information. I'll give them a plus there. But us seniors can't afford that only $9.95. Everything's only. Like the iPhone 16 Pro. Only $7.95. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, only $888. Only. Oh, what do you mean you want it activated? Oh, well, that's going to be another only. Activation, only $50. You want a different band? No problem. Only $22.95. What else do you want? You want it to work? We ain't guaranteeing it's going to work. And then, to save money, I didn't know this. All the new phones, they don't ship with the chargers anymore. You have to buy a charger. Now, back in the day, when you got a phone, you got a charger, and you got a USB cord. Not today. You get the phone and a USB cord. Charger optional. Now, yeah, I had a drawer full of chargers because people are like, my old one's all right. Yeah, they throw it in the drawer. You don't get them anymore. You need a charger, you have to buy it. But did the price of the phones come down? No. That's like, I had this thing for Motorola phones. And Motorola came back with their flip phones. The fancy new ones with the foldable screens. I like the one phone. It's about this big. And then you fold it open this way. And then you have a normal size phone. And then you fold it open this way. And you got a book. I'm like, how did they get that screen to fold up? Because you fold it this way, and then you fold it this way. And you have this little phone. A little razor. Stick it in your pocket. And it's got a little tiny screen until you open it up. Talk about technology. I remember, just couldn't tell you how old I am. There was a conference And the host of the conference got Steve Jobs and Bill Gates to agree to sit down together. Because at one time, they were best buds. Back when the first Mac came out, Steve called Bill and said, hey, we need software for our new computer. So Bill Gates, being up in Seattle, Washington, or somewhere up there, flew down to California, and they loaded Microsoft software into the first Mac. And then Steve was like, we can do our own software. Screw you, Bill. And then they didn't talk for years. Although, the amazing thing, Microhard still wrote software for some Apple programs. And it was amazing with the two of them sitting down together. Steve was like, oh, we have a wonderful working agreement with Microhard. Oh, the two teams, they get along so well. And I'm like, yeah, as soon as the conference is over, Steve will be walking out to his car going, screw you, Gates. But, oh yeah, they were best buddies for a long time. And then Steve got a tad arrogant. Although Steve was a tad arrogant. I read the autobiography, all 610 pages. And Steve was a bastard. He really was. People would be afraid to come into his office and be, And when Steve wanted something done, he wanted it done now. And it better be perfect the first time. I remember reading in the book, the team that invented Siri, they were on top of the world when they finally got it to work. Siri's like a speaking Google before Google spoke. Steve came in with that idea. He was like, I don't want to be punching stuff in. I want to talk to the phone. Hey, Siri. Yes. So, the team came into Steve's office and made their presentation. And they were like, oh boy, Steve's gonna love this. So they handed him an iPhone, and they said to Steve, ask it anything. And Steve went, Siri, are you male or female? And Siri answered back, they haven't assigned me a gender. He handed him back the iPhone and said, okay. Can you imagine bursting their bubble that way? They worked for years to get this, and this was when AI was in its infancy. They worked for years, probably 7 days a week, 18, 20 hours a day to perfect this. And Steve was like, okay, and handed him the phone back. I could see them all leaving the office going, oh, geez, all that time, that's all he did? He never asked it another question. Although in the book, he admitted to bursting a lot of people's bubbles. I think he lived for it. But I can imagine that poor team, you know, beta test 1, beta test 2, beta test 364, you know. They finally get Siri perfected. And they're like, oh boy, Steve's gonna love this. Oh God, he's gonna love this. And walk in his office. Steve, we invented a talking Google. Steve probably, talking Google. Well, Google doesn't have nothing to do with it. But it's like Google, but it talks. You don't have to type nothing in. Yeah. I can see the team members going, oh, this ain't going well already. We've got it installed on this iPhone, Steve. Try it. Ask it anything. Anything. How do I do it? Just say, hey Siri. Hey Siri. Yes. Okay, that's good so far. Are you male or female? They haven't assigned me a gender. There you go. Nobody bothered to go, what do you think, Steve? They just kind of slinked out of his office. Then 3 or 4 of them threw themselves under buses. But he was that way. Yeah. Steve just loved to ruin people's day. I'm trying to think the British guy that was their main designer. I can't remember his name. I knew I should have looked all this shit up before He told a story about when they would travel. They'd check into a hotel, and the valet would bring his bags in and set them down. And then he'd sit on the bed and wait. And then about 10 minutes later, the phone would ring, and it'd be Steve. Yes, Steve. This hotel sucks. Let's go somewhere else. And he did it all the time. They could be at the Ritz-Carlton. Steve would be like, yeah, this hotel sucks. Let's go somewhere else. So he never bothered to move his bags because he knew we'd be calling the vet. And then when I became a crabby old son of a bitch, I was like, wow, reading is fun. Only took 70 years, but yeah, reading is fun. So, I ordered Steve's autobiography. But I didn't pay full price. I found several bookstores that get hardly used library copies. Well, the price on this autobiography was $39.95. Me pay $39.95 for a book? No. This bookseller, $5.95 and free shipping. I was like, oh, send it. So I get the book. And it's got the library sticker on the back. But the book was like brand frickin' new. Didn't look like anybody ever bothered to read it. So I started. The first night, I read 322 pages. This is such a well-written autobiography, I couldn't put the son of a bitch down. And then the next night, I finished it. One book, 2 nights. But, oh man, did I learn things about Steve Jobs. Holy yachafuck. It was amazing that he had loyal employees that were with that company from day one. Of course, they were making good money. Matter of fact, when Apple was just about ready to fold up and go bankrupt, the CEO called Steve and said, please come back and rescue us. Because see, Steve, when he left Apple, they didn't know it, but he took a copy of his software with him. And over the years, he kept updating it and updating it and updating it. Because I'll tell you what, Apple software, as much as I don't like Apple, their operating systems are the best on earth. So they begged Steve, please, come back, save our asses, and bring your operating system. So Steve come back, and the rest is history because he saved Apple. But boy, I'll tell you what, over the years, he made them pay for firing his ass. And that was another amazing thing. He started the company. Him and Steve Wozniak. And then to get fired from your own company. That was unbelievable. And then who did they bring in as the CEO? The ex-CEO from Pepsi-Cola. The guy was lucky he knew how to boot up a computer, let alone the functions of one, and let alone running a company like Apple. Well, he didn't last long. I'm thinking, what board members voted to bring this guy in and fire Steve? Well, they learned a tough lesson because like Steve says in the book, they were about 5 days away from the doors being closed. And when Steve come back, he's walking through the office building going, what are you still doing here? What are you still doing here? And they all said, hey, we're loyal to Apple. Of course, those are the people that basically became, big vice presidents making big bucks. But yeah, it was amazing how many people were willing to lose their ass and stay with Apple. But yeah, all you youngsters out there with your iPhone 16 Pro Maxes, Apple was 5 days from going bankrupt. And nobody'd save them. And they realized this, the only way that they could get loans to save Apple was to bring Steve back. But it was like 20 years. It was amazing that anybody that's got an Apple product, I advise them. There's still copies floating around. You can go on Amazon, go in the used book section. There's all a bunch of used booksellers. Order Steve's autobiography. I haven't looked at the book lately. I think it's just entitled Steve. but buy it. You'll be amazed. Everybody thinks, oh, Apple, yeah. Apple almost didn't exist. And Steve saved them. Of course, Steve was the type of guy to invent something we didn't even know we needed. Like the first iPod. Everybody was like, what's an iPod? It's a music player. Well, I got my music player, my portable cassette player. Oh, no. It's about this big. And it holds like 1,000 songs. Huh? And you download music into it. You don't have to carry a cassette around. Really? They call it iPod? Yeah. And here's how shrewd a businessman Steve was. He got big music stars back in the day to advertise his iPod. And you know how he paid them? He gave them iPods. I remember the one musician was like, we did these commercials for him, and we got this little thing, this iPod for a payment. That's how Steve was. He conned people. Hey, we got this neat music player with your music on it. Come and do a commercial for us. Oh, okay. And then they do the commercial, and then Steve would go, here's your payment, an iPod. What? Yeah. Oh, here, one for your wife. Oh, you want one for every band member? Oh, jeez. Okay. Susie, bring in 5 more iPods. Give them to the band members. And then everybody stood around and looked at him like, huh? That's our payment? All that work? Sweating our asses off in that studio for weeks? And this is... Okay, Steve. Don't pull our music off the iPod. Thank you. We're happy. Thank you. Yeah. Look it up if you don't believe the grumpy old man. When the iPod came out, he had big name musicians doing commercials, advertising the iPod. And that's what he paid them with. They didn't get no check. They got an iPod. Here you go. We ain't working for you no more. Oh, you didn't hear that, Steve. I was joking. We don't want you erasing our music off all the iPods. Yeah. He was shrewd that way. And another, everybody knew Steve was a little quirky. He never registered his car because he didn't want anybody finding out his address. So he would lease it. And the lease would go for 6 months. and it had a temp tag on it. And a lot of times in California, you couldn't run a temp tag. It wouldn't come up in the system. Well, at the end of 6 months, Steve would go in and get a new car with a new temp tag. And he did this constantly so that nobody would know that was his car and where he lived. California's got a strange system, I guess, for their temp tag. They probably changed it now. But yeah, back in the day, every 6 months, Steve would call a dealer, time for a new car, okay. And then 6 months later, time for a new car. Because at the end of 6 months, you had to register the car. So Steve just did a car change every 6 months. I love it. That was in the book too. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I don't want nobody to know where I live. And if he thought somebody was following him, although if you know California freeway system, oh my God. I'm surprised people that live there figure out where they're going every day. If Steve thought somebody was following him, oh, he'd drive all over the place. Take this freeway exit, get on that freeway, take this freeway. When he figured he lost him, then he'd go home. Quirky, oh yeah. In the book is a picture of his home office. The desk looked like something he got out of a rummage sale. The only nice thing was the big, huge Mac computer on his desk. Oh my God, he must have had a 45-inch screen. But his desk, yeah, looked like they dragged it off the street somewhere. Somebody threw it out. He was like, oh, that desk is all right, I'll take it. Nothing on the wall. Not like Grumpy's studio. Bland as hell. That was his home office. Crappy old desk. Nice, flashy Mac computer. That was it. Steve, even though Steve had like a gazillion dollars, he wasn't into material things. You can tell that by the clothes he wore. He bought black turtlenecks and blue jeans. That's all you ever saw him in. Black turtlenecks and blue jeans. You never saw Steve in a suit. In the early days you would. But later on, when he came back to Apple, black turtleneck, blue jeans, tennis shoes. Well, I'm dating myself. Sorry. Athletic wear. And old beat up athletic wear. It said in the book that Steve would wear a pair of shoes until holes were in the soles. And then he didn't want to throw them out. He'd be like, oh, wait a minute, the shoelaces are good. Read the book. Order it. It's got amazing things in there. Steve was unbelievably cheap. He really was. He used big pens. Good old generic big pens. You'd think that he would, have a nice cross pen and pencil set like most of the executives. Nope. Crappy old plastic big pen and regular number 2 pencils. That was it. Nothing flashy. Nope. Simple as could be. All his VPs are walking around with their fancy gold cross pens. Steve whips out a good old plastic Bic. Yeah. He'd tell everybody, hey, my cheap 19-cent Bic does the same thing as your $50 gold cross pen. What do I need it for? They tell him, well, Steve, you're the CEO. Yeah? What's that got to do with it? CEO can have a cheap-ass plastic Bic pen. Yeah. Read the order. Buy the book. You could probably get it for a couple of bucks. Go on Amazon. Go into used booksellers. And they're listed, you know, like new, okay, fair, and buy one. You'll be surprised at what you read. I was, and I'm not even an Apple fan, but boy, I learned a lot about Steve. And one of my favorite comedians, Joan Rivers. I have every single book she ever wrote. Bought them all used. Amazing things I learned about Joan Rivers. It really pained me when she passed away. I was like, oh, jeez, I loved her. Even though she was snarky as hell, I loved her humor. Her and John Panette. He died too young. Oh, I was heartbroken when he passed away. I loved John Panette. He had grumpy sense of humor. As a matter of fact, the thing that really ticks me off is his sister, who was in charge of his estate, took a lot of his stuff off YouTube. And you can't even buy it. Luckily, I had watched some of his shows that he did, like up in Canada. They loved him up in Canada. They thought he was a god up in Canada. Yeah, she told YouTube, get them all down. We ain't giving that shit away for free. But then she didn't sell any of them either. Boy, did I get off a subject. And here I was coming on to bitch about Sylvia and the whole all-state square trade TV team. Well, tomorrow will be day 3, and we'll see if I get any emails, because I know I'm not going to get any phone calls. I might just call to piss them off on a Sunday. Somebody answers, you know. Thank you for calling the Square Trade TV team. Fawad speaking. Wow, they make you work on Sunday? Man, what a slave driving outfit. And then hang up. And then call somebody else, you know. Because you never get the same person to answer the phone twice. You get a different one. Although it would surprise me. Kamar, you're working too? Wow. What a slave driving outfit. You get paid double time per Sunday? No? Ha! Sucks to be you. See ya. Click. I think I'll do that tomorrow. Because I think I'm going to end up cooped up in the studio anyway. It's supposed to rain. It'll give me something to do. Just keep calling the All-State TV team. When they answer, where's my check? What do you mean, where's your check? Talk to Sylvia. She's supposed to be writing me a check. I left her 20 voicemails already. She got back to me. So tell her, grumpy old man's bugging the TV team, looking for his check. And sooner or later, I'll end up calling the whole team, and they'll probably storm her office with torches and pitchforks. Sylvia, write that goddamn check. No. I'm going to make him suffer like I did with the TV. Then they'll all slink back to their desks, their little cubicles. So, the saga of the refund continues. I'm having fun. Matter of fact, I hooked up my soundbar. Oh, Jesus. Talk about, you can't just go in and click soundbar. No. You gotta go to settings and activate this and activate that. And click this and click that. I didn't think I'd ever get that thing set up. And then I get everything all plugged in. And I wasn't paying attention. And it kept saying, no sound, no sound, no sound. What do you mean no sound? I didn't have the soundbar plugged into the E-Arc HDMI. Ah, jeez. Switch the plugs. Then I had to start all over again. Go to settings, click this, do this, move that. Move the little cursor here, click that. And then, in the manual, it says, look for this. It ain't on my TV. This audio setting. It's not on the TV. How can I get the soundbar to work when the instructions are telling me this is on and it's not on the TV? So finally, I found there was an auto setup. Yeah. I was like, auto setup. Click. Screens changed about 9 times. And then the soundbar came on. Full bore. I go, oh, it works. Then I'm trying to use the soundbar remote to adjust the sound. Ain't doing nothing. Meanwhile, paint's flaking off the ceiling, cracks in the walls from the volume. I picked up the TV remote. Oh, it automatically paired with the TV remote. What have I got this remote for? You have to get this. You have to use the soundbar remote to turn it off and on. But the TV remote controls every other function. You would think if it paired with the TV remote, you could turn it on. No. In order to get sound, you turn the soundbar on with the soundbar remote, and then you adjust everything, even the equalizer. Everything adjusts off the TV remote. The only thing you use the soundbar remote for is to turn it on and off. I was like, oh, Jesus. My nightstand looks like a display for a remote TV sales outfit. Would you like this one, sir? Or this one over here? I got remotes for everything. God forbid I pick up the wrong remote. Oops. What did I do? Yeah. And then on top of it, now I have a remote to turn on and off the sound bar. Then I have the TV remote, which controls every function of the sound bar. And then I have the Roku remote that controls the Roku TV functions. Oh, Jesus. 3 remotes to watch TV. And God forbid I hit the wrong one. Yeah. That's modern technology for you. If it comes with a remote, you have to use it for something. But it doesn't control 100% of the functions. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. That's all this goddamn remote for the soundbar does, turn it on and off. And I went, okay, let me check the TV remote. I hit a button. Up on the screen pops the equalizer. I was like, holy yucca. And I started adjusting. And I control volume. And then I went to change the channel, so I had to grab the Roku remote. And when I go to turn the TV off, I pick up the soundbar remote, hit that red button. Dink. That's all it does. That's all that remote does. Is turn the soundbar on and off. But the TV remote controls everything else. Like adjusting from HDMI to Bluetooth or to optical. And then the equalizer, the volume. But if I shut the TV off, the soundbar stays on. So now I gotta pick up the soundbar remote, push the red button. Dink! I wanted to rip the skin off my skull. I couldn't, I'm like, oh, Jesus. Because it tells you at the end, like rebooting a computer. You have to turn the TV off. You have to wait 15 seconds and then turn the TV back on. I said, okay. So I turned the TV on, no sound. I was like, oh God, I gotta go through this shit all over again. And then I don't know why, but I picked up the soundbar remote. I hit the button, soundbar came on, volume. Does it do anything else? No. Nothing. I pushed every button on it. Nothing. The TV remote does everything except turn it off and on. So I guess I will be calling the soundbar company on Monday and going, hey, why is your stupid remote not work right? Why is it when you pair it with the TV remote, everything works except the on-off button? Yeah. I'm gonna pull up the website for the soundbar company and see if maybe they're there on Sunday. Or maybe I can leave a voicemail. If I'm gonna irritate the Square Tray TV team, I might as well irritate the soundbar company at the same time. And with that, the saga of the refund, day 2, comes to a close. Because Grumpy is going to go make himself some more bacon encrusted turkey sandwiches. Yeah. Oh. When I finish this, I'm going to go buy about 60 pounds. Best shit on earth. Bacon encrusted turkey. Whoever thought of that idea, oh, they're going to get complimentary letters from Grumpy. I'll be asking them, how did you think to wrap a turkey in bacon? And they'll say, well, it was a hit or miss. We wrapped the turkey in bacon. We called in a group of people and had them sample it. And 90% of the people went, oh, this is good shit. Where can I buy some? Well, not yet. You're the team we're testing it on. Had I been a member of that team, I'd had the guy up against the wall going, where can I get some of this? I'm going to go back in your test kitchen and take a turkey home. Oh, yeah. Bacon encrusted turkey. Monday or Tuesday, when I go get more, I'm going to find out. I don't think it's Eckrich, I doubt it. I'm going to find out who makes the bacon encrusted turkey so that you can look for it in your stores. Unless you accidentally came across it like me. But yeah. Bacon encrusted turkey. With Hellman's. Yummy. Only one thing would be better than that. A bacon sandwich about that thick. Slathered in Hellman's. And we don't want none of that underbrush. No, you don't need none of that lettuce shit on there. It just ruins the taste of the bacon. You can put some tomato on. No underbrush. Whoever came up with that idea. Oh, let's put lettuce on a sandwich. No, lettuce goes in a salad, not on a sandwich. Tomato, yes. Lettuce, no. Lettuce chopped up in a bowl. Throw some other shit in. Blue cheese dressing. Yeah, Grumpy likes blue cheese dressing. If I could get Limburger dressing, oh, I'd be in heaven. Nobody makes Limburger dressing, so as close as I can get to it is blue cheese. And the stinkier the blue cheese, the better. Reminds me of Limburger. I think I might suggest that to the salad dressing companies. Hey, have you ever thought of Limburger dressing? And then they'll hang up so fast my ear will hurt from the click of the phone. And they'll be sitting there going, hey, I just got some call for some asshole that wants Limburger salad dressing. Oh. But I know if they made it back in the day, me and Grandpa, oh, we'd be pouring that shit on the salad like it was free. Ah, the days of Limburger cheese sandwiches with Grandpa. After Grandpa passed on, they just didn't taste the same. I guess they had to have his touch. Yeah. Limburger cheese salad dressing by Kraft. Yeah. I don't think Kraft would touch that one with a 10-foot pole. And with that, I will chat with you tomorrow. Day 3 of the Refund Saga.